My name is Nathan Grimm. Our project is about the potential impacts of behavioral biometrics for autonomous authentication. My group members are Sadiq Mohammed, Anant Tamarpu, Rudy Rissinger, and Jaden Trilienza. For our introduction, behavioral biometrics for autonomous authentication is a security approach that leverages unique behavioral patterns such as movement, typing style, or different keystrokes and handwriting similarities to authenticate and identify users. This approach offers a continuous and evolving layer of security, which is critical for organizations handling sensitive data. I chose an image that shows the different psychological and behavioral biometrics that we will be looking at today. What is BBAA? BBAA uses unique user behaviors for identity verification. These behaviors include keystroke patterns, walking gait, cognitive responses. It also improves security by analyzing how users interact with different systems, particularly computer systems and sensitive data, providing a more reliable and individualized method of authentication. Traditional security methods. Traditional authentication relies on physical IDs, passwords, and biometric checks like fingerprint scanners. These methods can be vulnerable to sharing, theft, hacking, and especially in high risk and high sensitive data environments and systems that contain that high sensitive data. Limitations of traditional methods. Weak passwords are easy to guess, hack, and steal, and gain access to people's sensitive and government sensitive data. Physical IDs can be lost or misused to gain access to areas or systems that individuals are not supposed to be able to have access to. Single event authentication, like passwords, do not monitor the user behavior continuously and therefore are a severe security risk.
So BBA,
The capture phase, user data like typing speed is continuously collected. For the analysis phase, collected behaviors are analyzed to detect those patterns. For the authentication decision, system validates the user's identity based on pattern matching, whether the way they walk, write, talk, their keystroke patterns, etc. Keystroke dynamics. Keystroke dynamics analyzes the time taken between key presses and releases. A user's typing rhythm is unique to that person and difficult to replicate. And now I will pass on the presentation to my friend Anand.
so the gait analysis analyzes the unique way each person walks, and by tracking the walking pattern, systems can recognize and verify identity passively. So from this picture we have here, we have a person walking and they're in different phases. And the way this analysis works is that it will analyze the way this person is walking and it will track the unique way the person is walking, and it will verify their identity based off the way they are walking and how they are walking. And then for cognitive biometrics measures thought process, response speeds, and memory recall, and it's used to determine if the individual's behavior aligns with their usual cognitive patterns. And we also have the behavioral biometrics for autonomous authentication. Behavioral biometrics for autonomous authentication, or BBAA, uses behavioral metrics that encompass methods such as keystroke dynamics, gait analysis, cognitive biometrics, and signature analysis, all of which can be applied for user authentication. It has importance in highly secure government and company organizations and can be used as counter-espionage and can be used to stop unwanted users from accessing data. Now I'm going to pass it off to Jaden.
BBA keystrokes, gait, and cognitive biometrics. Keystroke dynamics computers are trained to recognize the typing patterns of individuals. A user's unique keystroke rhythm/style can serve as an authentication factor. Gait analysis relies on monitoring a user's movements by using sensors attached to the user's device. Their actions are tracked and the trajectory of their motions help verify their identity. Cognitive biometrics, analyzing a user's interactions with their device and their behavior during authentication process. Sensors collect data on how the user responds, and this information helps to detect patterns and can differentiate between valid users and malicious users. Anti-espionage. AI models can learn normal behavior patterns for each employee, like login times, data access, file download behavior, and communication patterns. Example, an engineer typically only looking at a specific set of files, but suddenly starts viewing a broader range of confidential documents such files. Example, an employee is swipes such badge into a secure facility, but at the same time, their ID is used to log into a classified network remotely from home, which signals a potential espionage act. Example, two employees in a different departments who rarely such never communicate suddenly start having an unusual high volume of emails with a bias towards classified projects. This would trigger an investigation. Benefits of autonomous insider espionage detection. Increased speed of detection. Real-time identification of suspicious activities will allow faster response time, reducing potential loss or damage. Comprehensive monitoring. Autonomous systems can track vast amounts of data, communication behaviors in ways that manual monitoring systems could handle. Proactive threat mitigation. Instead of responding reactively to espionage incidents, these systems proactively detect early warning signs, preventing large breaches. How this could have helped with real-world examples. NSA's leak of Edward Snowden. Snowden's ability to access let me just double check. This is different on my iPad. NSA's leak Snowden's ability to access and infiltrate large amounts of classified intel could have flagged by autonomous threat behavioral analytics would have recognized unusual patterns of Snowden's accessing documents outside his typical responsibilities, as well as the mass downloading of classified data. Army intel leak. Manning's unauthorized access to military could have triggered alerts with autonomous espionage detection system. The system could have noticed the mismatch between her role and the volume of sensitive data she was looking at. Jake, I can't pronounce that. National Guard Discord League. Autonomous systems could have flagged unusual access patterns, such as accessing more classified documents than needed. AI could have detected and blocked large files downloads. I'm gonna be passing it off.
So, who is Edward Snowden? Edward Snowden was the person that the group found, which is the worldwide most known for the BBAA, and why we're using this as our case study. So, Edward Snowden was a former NSA contractor who in 2013 became widely recognized for being the person who leaked classified information about the United States government surveillance programs. What he has done is Snowden, under the employment of the Booz Allen Hamilton, released a large cache of documents detailing the NSA's global surveillance, which included programs such as phone calls, emails, internet activity. This was done for both foreign nations and the United States. How this helps is what Edward Snowden did was significant because it opened a global conversation about privacy, data, and security, and the boundaries of the government and how it pertains to our lives. By releasing this information, the surveillance of the government raised the awareness of personal privacy and freedom. And how BBAA relates. As the push towards privacy/respecting solutions, the autonomous authentication using the behavioral biometrics will allow for more secure and private ways of using devices. This allows the user to continuously be verified as they use their electronics without intrusive measures and that could expose sensitive information. These biometrics are, as stated before, will use keystroke dynamics and mouse movements to authentify the identity of the user. How is this better? Unlike traditional passwords or biometrics, which can be hacked or even stolen, BBAA offer a more diverse and dynamic security layer to the user verification. This allows the company not to worry about their secret passwords being leaked or having an agent of chaos using their systems. BBAA will allow for more protection by monitoring typing speed and mouse movements or even phone handling habits.
This makes it more secure and less vulnerable to attacks like phishing or social engineering. These are where attacks manipulate individuals into revealing their login information. Some real-world examples are for banking and finance. Financial groups globally have chose to start adopting the BBAA to detect and prevent fraudulent activity. By continuously monitoring the user behavior, the banks can identify anomalies that might stipulate unauthorized access. Also, healthcare. As the digital records rise in the medical industry, BBAA is a crucial part in protecting sensitive patient data. Medical facilities use BBAA to check if a healthcare professional is the one accessing electronic health records, or HERs. Other world examples include education/remote work. As the world becomes more digital for students and workers, BBAA helps in ensuring that the intended individuals are attending their virtual classes or accessing work systems. Universities and companies have been using BBAA to verify students and employees through the session, reducing cheating and securing the sensitive corporate information. Also, companies such as e-commerce and retails have been using this a lot more. For online stores have been the biggest percentage increase of the usage rate in recent times, and companies are using the BBAA to protect users' accounts. Platforms like Amazon use BBAA to detect unusual account activities such as change in purchases and browsing habits. Now to finish us off, I will pass this to Sadiq.
Thank you for that. I will be talking about other examples where behavioral biometric authentication could have helped, other situations where this could have helped. I will be talking about a major instance that has gotten a lot of traction in the last a few years. I'm focusing on Chelsea Manning. Chelsea Manning was an Army intelligence agent that mainly was privy to a lot of sensitive information with her work. She had access to large amounts of large detailed reports referring to casualty rates, as well as various operations, whether secret or not secret, that the U.S. military took part in, as well as a well-documented video about a U.S. Apache helicopter attack in Baghdad, Iraq. Manning was arrested. Manning then leaked large amounts of information to the U.S. To the public, and Manning was arrested in May of 2010 and faced multiple charges such as aiding the enemy and multiple violations of the Espionage Act. Manning was convicted on 17 charges, including espionage theft, but was acquitted of the most severe charge in aiding the enemy. Manning was sentenced to 35 years in prison, one of the largest sentences ever given for leaking classified data. Now, what could have been done? If the U.S. military implemented information on a need-to-know basis and only gave information related to Manning's job, the data leaked wouldn't have been nearly as much. If the U.S. military implemented behavioral biometrics and analyzed how she interacted with the system, and then flagged her use when it was out of the ordinary, the leak wouldn't have happened. As well as if the U.S. military controlled who the information could be sent to from her computer, the leak also could have been avoided. Another instance is Jack Teixeira. In October of 2022, he leaked classified documents and photographs on his Discord known as Plug Shaker Central. The content that was leaked was various sensitive details about U.S. intelligence assessments and classified military operations and geopolitical analysis. Another case, what could have been done if the U.S. military used various methods to track keyboard strokes to determine what he was accessing. If the U.S. military also gave information on a need-to-know basis, then the leak also could have been avoided. As well as if the U.S. Military limited how the information could have been sent, then the leak could have been avoided as well. And these are just some general sources that we use to acquire all this information. Thank you.